Hello, my fellow animal lovers. How are you today? Before I ferry you to dreamland, if you love the content and you love animals, I encourage you to show your support by subscribing. By the way, tell us where you are in the world in the comments section. What time do you like watching our channel? I look forward to reading all your comments. Enjoy. Chapter 1. The Stillness of the World Under the Moon. The world at night is a quiet place, a profound and ancient hush descending with the departure of the sun. It is not truly empty, nor is it devoid of sound, but rather it is filled with a deeper, more pervasive kind of quietness that seeps into the very core of being. This is a peaceful hum that resonates from the earth itself, not a single definable sound, but an intricate, soft, and beautifully woven tapestry of countless subtle vibrations and soft movements. The air, having shed the day's warmth, is still and cool against the skin, carrying with it a crisp freshness that invigorates while simultaneously inducing a deep sense of calm that settles gently over the land, encouraging introspection and a slowing of the spirit. The moon, a celestial sentinel, floats high above, a soft ethereal white presence suspended in the expansive inky velvet of the night sky. Its light is not a harsh glare, not the sharp illumination of day, but rather a gentle diffused spill of milky radiance that filters down, patient and pervasive, through the ancient gnarled canopy of the towering trees. This lunar glow bathes the world below in a muted, shimmering silver light, possessing a unique quality that softens every harsh edge, blurring every distinct line, transforming the familiar into something more dreamlike and mystical. This particular quality of light is truly for dreaming, for quiet contemplation, for allowing the mind to drift and connect with the primal rhythms of the earth. If one truly listens closely, with an attuned ear and an open heart, it is possible to discern the myriad subtle sounds that collectively compose this profound nocturnal silence. The wind, not a gust but a gentle breath, sighing softly through the highest, most ancient branches of the trees, lets out a long, slow, almost imperceptible exhalation. In response, the myriad leaves respond with a delicate rustle, a whispering conversation that drifts lazily through the cool night air for a fleeting moment, a secret shared, and then fades again into the deep enveloping dark, leaving only a memory of sound. Deeper within the dense underbrush, a soft, muffled sound of movement might indeed be heard, the quiet, almost undetectable progress of small, unseen animals living out their quiet, instinct driven lives beneath the protective cover of night. An owl, a phantom hunter of the darkness, might call in the far distance, its long, low hoot seeming to stretch out the very fabric of the darkness itself, holding it in place, a vocal anchor in the vast expanse. The ubiquitous crickets sing a constant, tireless song, an unceasing, gentle chorus that is both distinctly present and subtly woven into the background, a steady, rhythmic pulse that guides the peaceful unfolding of the night. These sounds do not possess the power to startle or alarm. They are instead a gentle musical background, a slow, deep breathing of the land, an auditory lullaby, concomitant with the quiet, the rich, complex scents of the earth rise up to meet you, enveloping you in an olfactive embrace. There is the deep, musty, and incredibly rich smell of damp soil, a primal and ancient aroma that speaks of endless cycles of life and decay, of growth and return. It is the very scent of things returning to their origins, a grounding, deeply earthy presence that anchors one to the moment. Intertwined with this, there is the crisp, sharp, almost invigorating scent of pine needles, a clean and resinous smell that instantly brings with it vivid images of tall, majestic trees reaching for the sky and the fresh, unburdened purity of wild air. And on the air, perhaps, carried on a barely there breeze, one might catch the faint, exquisitely sweet perfume of unseen wild plants, a delicate and fleeting fragrance that might be honeysuckle or perhaps the intoxicating aroma of wild jasmine blooming secretly in the moon's glow. These are not overpowering odors that assault the senses, but rather subtle, intricate layers that slowly and beautifully build a profound sense of a living, breathing world, a world that is quietly settling in for its long, peaceful slumber. The ground beneath your feet, even in the darkness, is a soft and wonderfully yielding thing, a natural comfort. It presents itself as a carpet meticulously woven from countless fallen leaves of varying ages and the sharp, clean needles of pine, which together create a soft, muffled, almost silent feeling underfoot, cushioning every step. There are patches of spongy, verdant grass, a welcoming softness that invites one to recline, to rest, to simply be. Or perhaps, beneath the overarching boughs, one might encounter a great cool rock, its ancient surface generously covered in a thick, luxurious cushion of velvet moss, inviting a gentle touch. The world at night is very much a tactile experience, even when vision is diminished, inviting you to feel your way, to let go of the dominant human need to see, and instead to sink deeply into the purely physical sensations offered by the forest. The gentle give of the earth underfoot, the almost imperceptible, soft tickle of a passing breeze on the skin, the deep, cool, and pervasive stillness found in a hidden, sheltered place. All of this, every single nuanced sensation, belongs wholly and completely to the night, enriching its silent tapestry. This great, quiet forest is not a static, inert place, but rather a vibrant, living presence, an entity unto itself. It breathes slow and deep, in a steady, reassuring rhythm that echoes the beat of the heart. The wind, as it moves through the branches, is its soft, ancient sigh. The rustling leaves are its gentle, constant whisper of secrets. The ethereal moonlight, filtering through the trees and reflecting on still pools of water, is its tender, soft caress on the surface of the world. The velvety moss, carpeting ancient stones, is its welcoming, soft, cushioned hand, extended in silent invitation. The forest, in its profound stillness, is a calm, living presence, a sacred place where all things seem to be in their proper, harmonious place, and where all things are enveloped in a deep, abiding peace. And into this gentle, pervasive peace, a lone wolf makes its quiet, purposeful way. It is not merely entering a place, but rather becoming an integral, seamless part of a larger, serene organism, a quiet, profound thought stirring gently within the vast, sleeping mind of the forest, moving with the quiet certainty of belonging. Chapter 2: The Silent Language in the Footfall. The wolf moves through the hushed, tranquil landscape of the forest, a silent and potent presence. Its walk is slow, each movement deliberate and precise, an ancient dance learned over countless generations. This particular journey is not a frantic hunt, not a desperate search for sustenance, or a hurried flight from danger. Instead, it is a peaceful, rhythmic patrol, a calm and assured journey through the very heart of its own established home, a territory deeply known and intimately understood. The wolf's powerful body is held low to the ground, its movements fluid and unbroken, a single magnificent flowing line of motion through the silver dusted dark, almost merging with the shadows and the light. It moves with such an uncanny, silent, purposeful grace, as if it were walking on the very air itself. Its presence felt more than heard. Each step is placed with an ancient, deeply ingrained, unconscious wisdom, a knowing that resides not in the mind, but in the very muscle and bone. The soft, resilient pads of its powerful paws press down gently yet firmly into the yielding, forgiving floor of the forest. They leave a fleeting, delicate indentation in the soft dirt, a momentary disturbance that quickly begins to fade, or, in the cold, clear light of winter, a distinct and perfectly formed impression in the untouched snow, a stark, beautiful silhouette against the white. The four powerful, sharp claws that extend from its paws leave their own clear individual marks, creating a beautiful and intricate pattern that speaks volumes of the wolf's intent and passage. This entire process is a quiet, rhythmic act, repeated over and over again with hypnotic regularity, forming a steady, lulling metronome that marks the passage of the night. The footfall itself is incredibly soft, a mere whisper on the ground, a momentary displacement of dry leaves or delicate pine needles that immediately settles back into undisturbed stillness as soon as the paw has passed, leaving barely a trace to the unobservant eye. And with each soft, deliberate press of the paw, an unseen message is subtly left behind. This is a hidden signature, a secret whisper written not in words or symbols, but in the intricate, potent language of scent, an invisible inscription on the canvas of the earth. The wolf's feet are not solely designed for walking, for traversing the diverse terrain of its domain. They carry within them special, highly adapted glands, meticulously located between its toes. With every single step it takes, a personal, unique signature is released, a distinct and complex chemical stamp that is an intrinsic, inseparable part of the wolf itself, a concentrated essence of its very being. This is not a crude mark of overt ownership, an aggressive claim to territory. Instead, it is a quiet, profound declaration of being, a simple, undeniable statement echoing through the unseen world. I am here. I am walking this ancient, familiar path. This is my domain. This profound form of communication is not born from a conscious decision, not an act of deliberate will on the wolf's part. It is rather a constant, passive, and deeply ingrained state of existence. The wolf does not actively decide, in a moment of intention, to leave its scent. Its very presence, its slow, deliberate, and graceful movement across the land, is the mark itself. With every soft, rhythmic footfall, a silent, potent whisper is laid upon the earth, an invisible trail that says to all who possess the innate knowledge and sensitivity to listen, I am here. This is an ancient and profoundly powerful form of communication, rooted in the fundamental truth that a message can be conveyed simply by existing, by being present, without any conscious effort, without any audible noise or dramatic display. The wolf is not actively deciding to communicate. Its entire being, its very presence, is the communication. The quiet, gentle, and continuous release of its personal, unique signature with every step is the ultimate reassurance, a biological affirmation. It signifies a slow, certain, and utterly peaceful occupation of the landscape, a simple, rhythmic affirmation of belonging that requires no thought, no tension, no strenuous effort at all, a quiet testament to its intrinsic connection with its environment. Chapter 3: The Slow Ceremony of the Mark. The wolf's slow, deliberate journey through the hushed and tranquil forest eventually comes to a gentle, almost imperceptible stop. It senses a specific presence, a subtle stillness in the air, or a particular texture in the environment that draws its attention. Perhaps its keen senses have registered a great ancient tree stump, its weathered surface generously covered in a luxurious velvet coat of vibrant green moss, standing like a silent sentinel of time. Or it might be a cool lichen covered boulder, its massive form having seemingly slept undisturbed for 1,000 years, a stoic fixture in the ever changing landscape. The wolf pauses, its fluid movement briefly interrupted. This pause is not merely a cessation of motion, it is a sacred moment, a quiet, profound break in the rhythmic flow of its serene walk, a point of focused intention in the nocturnal stillness. With a deliberate grace, a hind leg is slowly lifted. The movement is remarkably unhurried, devoid of any rush or hurriedness that might betray urgency. It is a slow, elegant, and almost artfully choreographed lift, a motion that seems to defy the natural demands of gravity and time. The wolf's powerful body shifts with an astonishingly fluid grace, its posture held steady for a transient moment, like a living statue carved from moonlight and shadow, perfectly poised against the velvet backdrop of the night sky. The leg rises, held in a specific, deliberate way, angled with an innate precision to ensure that the mark, this unseen declaration, is deposited precisely onto the chosen spot, a silent testament to its presence. A single, silent, almost invisible stream is then released onto this selected point, a gentle yet potent offering to the sleeping world, an intimate interaction with the earth. The sound, if one could even discern it, would be soft, almost imperceptible to the human ear, but its meaning is profoundly clear and powerfully communicated to those creatures who possess the innate knowledge to read its intricate message, carrying a weight far beyond its quiet delivery. After the sacred mark has been meticulously left, another quiet, equally significant act begins, completing the ritual. The wolf performs a gentle, almost meditative scraping motion with its hind paw, a slow rhythmic movement against the soft earth, a tactile engagement with the very ground it inhabits. This is not an act motivated by aggression or anger, not a forceful display of dominance. On the contrary, it is a second, gentle declaration, a quiet, deliberate gesture intended to further ground the potent scent, to intricately mix its chemical signature with the very soil, the natural essence of the forest floor. It is an act of deep, respectful engagement with the earth itself, an almost ceremonial blending of its being with the environment. The soft, rasping scrape of the powerful claws on the ground is a sound that belongs entirely to the hushed sanctity of the night, a subtle yet powerful affirmation of presence that echoes, "I was here, and I belong to this place, to this land." These physical movements collectively form a deep ceremony, a slow and graceful dance performed under the silent gaze of the moon. The raised leg, the precise angling, the gentle scrape, these are not merely simple biological functions devoid of deeper meaning. They are, in essence, a profound form of ritual that intimately connects the wolf to its environment, a quiet, repetitive act that continually reinforces its intrinsic place in the grand scheme of the natural world. The mark itself is not a threat, not a challenge issued to rivals. Instead, it is a ritual of peace, a soft, unwavering declaration of a life lived in profound harmony with the land, a testament to an ancient understanding. While other forms of wolf communication, such as the long, piercing howl that can carry for miles, or the quick, sharp flash of aggressive body language, often possess the inherent potential to escalate into conflict or confrontation. This quiet act of scent marking is precisely the opposite. It is a slow, calming, and deeply reassuring dance, a quiet affirmation of presence that eloquently says, I am here, this place is known to me, and I am known to it. There is no need for alarm, no need for fighting, no cause for conflict. It stands as a powerful testament to the idea that the most profound and impactful messages can be communicated with quiet certainty, with nothing more than a slow, gentle, and utterly certain act performed in the deep, enveloping dark, a silent wisdom unfolding. Chapter 4: The Whispered Chemical Secret. The mark has been meticulously left. The wolf, having completed its quiet ritual, moves on, disappearing back into the silvered shadows, and all is quiet once more, the stillness settling around the recently consecrated spot. But though the physical presence of the wolf has departed, an unseen world now vibrantly exists, a world teeming with tiny invisible messengers diligently carrying their silent missives. These messengers are not visible to the human eye, nor are they audible to the human ear. Indeed, they are utterly undetectable by our limited senses. Yet they are undeniably there, floating imperceptibly in the cool night air, a delicate cloud of chemical whispers that can only be truly read, interpreted, and understood by those creatures who possess the innate knowledge and specialized organs to comprehend this unique, intricate language. These whispers, though silent, hold within them a vast universe of information, a profound secret that travels effortlessly on the soft, guiding breath of the wind, circulating through the forest. Within the intricate tapestry of the scent mark are countless tiny chemical compounds, each one possessing a highly specialized and deliberate purpose, a specific role to play in the silent communication. They represent a marvel of natural chemistry, a silent, complex library of data encoded in molecular structures. Some of these chemical whispers, in particular, hold a hidden benevolent purpose, extending their influence beyond the wolf's own species. They are a unique type of signal that travels from one living thing to another, but critically, they are signals that only benefit the one receiving them without providing direct benefit to the sender. We could accurately label these fascinating compounds as chiromoons, but the more wondrous, poetic truth is that they function as a silent, benevolent warning system, a gentle, unseen nudge. To a cautious grazing deer, for instance, this chemical whisper is like a ghostly pull, an almost imperceptible guide that quietly yet firmly states, danger is near, a predator has passed this way, but I will not actively pursue or harm you at this moment. It triggers a quiet instinctual aversion, a subtle feeling of unease that gently encourages the deer to move away from the current path of the wolf, to redirect its browsing without ever directly seeing the predator, without any need for a high stakes conflict, a frantic chase, or a terrifying confrontation. The wolf's nose, far from being a simple organ for merely detecting odors, is a sophisticated, highly evolved instrument designed for deep and intricate reading. Within the impressive architecture of its brain, an entire section, roughly the size of a human fist, is dedicated entirely to processing and interpreting this ancient unseen language of scent. It is, in essence, a living, breathing, incredibly detailed library of olfactory information, constantly being updated and cross referenced. And within the marvel of its nasal cavity, there exists an even more specialized structure known as the vomeronasal organ or Jacobson's organ. This is a truly different kind of nose, operating on a separate, more refined level, one that possesses the extraordinary ability to specifically detect and precisely read these secret chemical messages, carefully sorting them, understanding which ones belong to its own kind, its packmates and rivals, and which belong to other species entirely. The very process of sniffing, for a wolf, is far more than a simple inhalation. It is a profound form of listening, of diligently reading a complex, multi layered text written in the ambient air and meticulously inscribed on the ground, a silent narrative unfolding. The wolf diligently reads the nuanced story of what has transpired, a detailed tale eloquently told in the quietest, most subtle, and yet profoundly effective way imaginable. The scent mark, in its very essence, holds a beautiful and profound paradox within its silent declaration. To the vigilant deer, as previously noted, it functions as a whisper of quiet, non threatening warning, an encouragement to peaceful avoidance. Conversely, to another wolf, especially a packmate or a potential mate, it translates into a whisper of peace, familiarity, and deep belonging, an affirmation of shared space and identity. The same silent act of deposition, the same invisible chemical messengers, can thus convey two entirely different meanings, evoking two completely distinct and appropriate responses from different species. This inherent duality makes the act of scent marking even more profound, more wondrous, and truly remarkable. It is a single, subtle act with two completely different, non dramatic, yet incredibly effective outcomes. It represents a silent, intricate form of communication that allows the wolf to navigate and live in a state of relative peace and harmony with its complex world, both with its potential prey and with its rival conspecifics, by offering each a unique, tailored, and quiet message. It is, without a doubt, the ultimate expression of the gentle, pervasive power of this invisible silent language, fostering coexistence rather than constant conflict. Chapter 5: The Fading of the Message. The world continues its slow, majestic, and utterly predictable, turning under the benevolent gaze of the moon. The mark, a quiet declaration, has been left on the forest floor, its unseen message encoded in a complex array of chemical compounds. And then slowly, but with an unwavering certainty, the message begins its quiet journey of unraveling, its potency gradually diminishing. The scent, for all its initial power, is ultimately a message written in a temporary, ephemeral ink, never intended to last forever, but rather to serve its purpose for a finite period before returning to the earth from whence it came. The wind, the rain, and the sun, these ubiquitous forces of nature, are not aggressive agents of destruction, but rather patient, gentle, and persistent forces that work slowly and quietly in constant concert to meticulously return the mark and its constituent elements back to the soil, reintegrating it into the grand cycle of the earth. The wind, a ceaseless, pervasive force, is never truly violent in this context, but rather a soft, steady whisper that is always subtly moving, always present. It systematically carries the tiny, invisible molecules of the scent away, one by one, a few at a time, in an ongoing process of dispersal. It gently disperses the mark, scattering its invisible words and chemical signals in a long flowing, attenuated stream that extends far behind the precise location where it was originally left. As this constant dispersion occurs, the scent gradually softens, its intensity waning until it becomes just a faint, lingering ghost in the ambient air, barely perceptible even to the most sensitive nose. This process is not one of harsh destruction, but rather a gentle natural dispersal, a spreading of the message far and wide, effectively diluting its concentrated strength until it can no longer be accurately read or interpreted with its original clarity. In specific meteorological conditions, particularly when the wind is light and the topography allows, the scent can even gather, temporarily pooling in what are sometimes called scent valleys, hollows, depressions, and low places on the forest floor, creating a brief temporary stillness of the message before it is inevitably carried away on the next passing current of air. And then often comes the rain, not a harsh, pounding downpour that cleanses aggressively, but more typically a light, delicate, and cleansing mist, or a soft, steady shower that settles gently over the entire forest. Each gentle droplet, as it lands, meticulously dissolves a tiny microscopic piece of the intricate scent mark, slowly washing it downwards into the porous soil, where it will eventually be absorbed and reintegrated, potentially nourishing the very plants and trees from which the forest derives its life. The moisture in the air, even independently of direct rainfall, is a fascinating and subtle force. Even as the rain works to gradually dissolve and break down the mark, the damp, heavy air of a humid night paradoxically works to hold the remaining scent molecules closer to the ground, making its final, lingering presence even more distinct and clear to a passing wolf's discerning nose, creating a brief intensification before its ultimate fade. The forest itself functions as a slow moving, organic clock, its various natural processes marking the passage of time, and the numerous scent marks left by its inhabitants are like its quiet, ticking hands, providing a temporal dimension to the landscape. A single mark, depending on a multitude of environmental factors, such as temperature, humidity, and exposure, can typically last for a few weeks, its communicative power slowly but surely fading with each passing day and night. A highly attuned wolf, with its extraordinary olfactory capabilities, might still be able to vaguely sense an old familiar scent mark that is as aged as 23 days, though by this point, the message it contains is now very, very faint, a mere whisper of its former self, requiring immense concentration to perceive. But inevitably, inexorably, the message eventually reaches a point of complete dissipation where it disappears entirely. It returns, dissolved and dispersed, to the earth from which its constituent elements came, its purpose having been gracefully fulfilled, its information transferred. This entire process is a peaceful, predictable, and deeply natural rhythm of nature, a silent and continuous dance of creation and dissolution. It serves as a quiet yet profound reminder that nothing in the natural world is truly permanent. All things, even a powerful, information rich message, soften and fade, gently returning to the earth in a beautiful, predictable, and ultimately comforting cycle. This cyclical nature is a profound and reassuring truth, a deep sense of a world that is always in a state of perfect balance, always in a state of quiet, certain, and harmonious transition. Chapter 6: A Roadmap for the Pack. As the wolf pack, a cohesive unit, moves deliberately and harmoniously through the silent ancient forest, its members follow an intricate network of paths they have walked countless times before, etched not just by their paws, but by their shared history. The scent marks they encounter along these well trodden routes are not merely abstract signs or indicators of passage. They are potent, tangible memories made manifest, invisible threads connecting them to their past movements and to each other. Each familiar scent, recognized instantaneously by the pack's highly developed olfactory senses, is a quiet reassurance, a soft, comforting reminder that they are indeed home, nestled securely within the boundaries of their established territory, surrounded by the familiar and reassuring presence of their own kind. It evokes a deep, ancient feeling of security and comfort, a primal sense of belonging that resonates deeply within each individual wolf. These pervasive marks form an intricate, invisible thread that binds the pack together, creating a silent yet incredibly robust network of understanding and shared knowledge. They function as a sophisticated roadmap, but not one with a rigid, linear destination or a definitive endpoint to be reached. Instead, it is a dynamic, living map of presence, a fluid, ever updating network of invisible signposts that silently and continuously confirm the pack's unity, its current movements, and its rich, shared history within its domain. These scent marks are not left at random, haphazardly scattered throughout the landscape. On the contrary, they are strategically and consciously placed on regular travelways, along well used trails, and most importantly, at crucial junctions where paths diverge or intersect, guiding and informing. This meticulous placement creates a well trodden, deeply familiar path of scent, an olfactory network of quiet affirmations that constantly reinforces the pack's communal identity. For a lone wolf, perhaps separated temporarily from the main group, finding one of these familiar marks doesn't just mean it intellectually knows its geographical location. It triggers a profound emotional sense of homecoming, of safety, and of impending reunion. The scent is a silent, reassuring echo of a packmate's recent presence, a quiet confirmation that it is not truly alone, that its family is near. Scent marking, therefore, extends far beyond the mere declaration of territory. It is deeply, fundamentally about togetherness, about reinforcing social bonds and strengthening the fabric of the pack. Research and observation have consistently shown that a significantly high rate of marking occurs particularly when lone wolves first come together and form a new pair, the foundational unit of a pack. This intense period of marking serves a crucial purpose. It helps to reinforce and solidify the profound pair bond between the male and female, creating an even deeper, more intrinsic connection between them. A newly bonded couple, in a beautiful display of their burgeoning partnership, may even perform a quiet, intimate ceremony of double marking, where one wolf adds its own unique scent to the mark freshly left by the other. This act is a beautiful, peaceful, and unambiguous declaration of their status as mates, a silent yet potent warning to other solitary wolves to respectfully stay away from their newly established union. It is a quiet affirmation of family, a joyous declaration of a new beginning, and a silent, unwavering pledge of shared life and future. Ultimately, this intricate scent network constitutes a deep emotional map. The marks are not merely cold, objective geographical points, they are vital anchors of emotional reassurance and connection. Each point of scent, each chemical signature, is a silent confirmation of a life lived together, a shared journey unfolding through the landscape. A wolf, by simply reading these scent messages, knows not only where its family has been, but also how recently they passed, and most importantly, that they remain united, a strong and cohesive unit. It presents a powerful, calming image of deep, nonverbal connection, a profound truth that a restless, seeking mind can find immense peace in contemplating. It is the quietest, most subtle, yet undeniably potent form of saying, I know you, I remember you, and we are together, always. It is a testament to the enduring power of silent, unspoken understanding within the family unit. Chapter 7: A Silent Truce on the Boundary. The boundaries of a wolf territory, unlike human defined domains, are not delineated by imposing fences of wood or steel, nor by formidable walls of stone. Instead, they are exquisitely defined by scent, a quiet and invisible line that whispers to all who traverse it. This space is occupied. This is our home. This is not a static, artificial demarcation, but a living, breathing boundary, a ghostly yet potent wall that exists simultaneously in the air, carried by the subtle currents, and on the very ground itself, etched in chemical declarations. Crucially, it is not primarily a place designed for conflict or aggressive confrontation, but rather a sophisticated system for silent understanding and respectful mutual avoidance. Scent marking, in its purest form, serves as a refined language of avoidance, a diplomatic tool in the intricate social tapestry of the wild. A loud, piercing howl, while certainly communicating presence, can inadvertently draw the aggressive attention of a rival pack, potentially escalating into a dangerous challenge. A direct show of aggressive body posture, hackles raised and teeth bared, often leads directly to a physical fight, with all its inherent risks and potential for injury or death. Scent marking is none of these. It operates on a different, more subtle plane. It is a quiet, polite, and universally understood message that allows two rival packs to tacitly honor a truce and effectively steer clear of violence, maintaining peace without ever meeting. It represents an incredibly cost effective strategy, avoiding the high stakes, dangerous alternative of a direct physical confrontation, which expends significant energy and risks injury to vital members of the pack. The silent marks are a way of communicating. We are here. We are a united family, strong in our numbers. Let us both walk our own paths in peace, respecting each other's domain without overt conflict. When a wolf from a particular territory encounters the distinct scent of a rival pack, carefully deposited along the edges of its own domain, its response is rarely one of immediate aggression or territorial rage. Instead, it typically engages in a quiet, ritualistic act known as overmarking. The wolf, with a deliberate and measured movement, adds its own unique scent to the message previously left by the other pack, a silent yet incredibly clear and forceful response that subtly yet firmly declares your message has been received and acknowledged. This, however, remains our home, our territory. This intricate exchange is not a battle being waged through chemical means. On the contrary, it is a sophisticated diplomatic exchange, a continuous conversation conducted entirely in the nuanced language of scent. This behavior is an artful display of innate wisdom and profound restraint, demonstrating that true strength can often be expressed most effectively through quiet, nonviolent means. It suggests that the most effective and enduring solutions in the wild are frequently those that prevent problems, conflicts, and dangerous encounters from ever truly arising in the first place, promoting stability. The wolf's silent communication with its rivals, conducted through these unseen chemical messages, has profound and far reaching effects on the ecological balance. It meticulously informs neighboring packs of its existence, its current movements, and its sustained presence along the edges of its territory, a vital piece of information, especially during the crucial breeding season when territorial claims are most intensely asserted. And, in a remarkable, almost serendipitous way, this system of silent marking also creates a peaceful, often less contested buffer zone between rival packs. Prey animals, such as cautious deer and elk, may instinctively be more likely to gather and seek refuge in these very buffer zones, areas that by mutual though unconscious agreement are less intensely used for active hunting by either pack. This provides a quiet, almost sacred sanctuary for them, a place of relative safety away from the more actively patrolled hunting grounds. Thus, the quiet, chemical messages left by the wolves, while defining their own lives, indirectly help all creatures within the ecosystem to find a sense of peace and safety in the world, subtly reinforcing the gentle yet powerful influence of this invisible, intricate language on the broader ecological community. Chapter 8: The Mark as a Whisper of Identity. The scent mark, far from being a simple generic signal, is a rich and intricate story, a profound liquid biography of the particular wolf who meticulously left it behind. It transcends a mere declaration of presence, evolving into a silent, comprehensive library of vital information, a quiet chemical record that can be eloquently read and profoundly understood by those within the wolf's world who possess the innate knowledge and acute senses to listen to its unseen narrative. It is a testament to the sophistication of nonverbal communication in the animal kingdom. Within this invisible language, each individual wolf possesses a unique and unmistakable voice, an olfactory fingerprint as distinct as any human signature. The complex chemical composition of the scent can instantly convey to another wolf whether the mark belongs to a cherished packmate, a familiar member of its own family, or an unfamiliar outsider, a potential rival or transient individual. More specifically, it can signal the individual identity of the wolf, a unique signature as precise and identifiable as a human fingerprint, allowing for immediate recognition. This is a quiet yet incredibly powerful form of recognition, a nonverbal affirmation of a life lived together, of shared experiences and mutual understanding. The wolf does not need to physically see its packmates or hear their distinct calls to know that they are near, that they are a cohesive family unit, and that their presence is a reassuring constant. It simply needs to diligently read the rich, detailed story left for it on the silent, receptive canvas of the forest floor, understanding their movements and intentions without direct interaction. The mark can tell an even deeper, more nuanced story, revealing intricate details about the sender. It can subtly speak of the social status of the wolf who left it, indicating whether it is a dominant alpha, a vital breeding individual, or perhaps a younger, subordinate pup, still learning the intricacies of pack life. Furthermore, it can unmistakably signal the gender of the wolf and even its specific biological or social purpose at that given moment. The precise chemical composition of the scent can also vary and change significantly with the seasons, adapting to the shifting demands of the natural year. For instance, it can clearly signal a female's readiness to mate, broadcasting her reproductive state to potential partners, or it can subtly indicate the recent presence of new vulnerable pups within the territory, signaling a need for caution and protection. This is how a pack can communicate the profound joy of new beginnings, the quiet wonder of a growing family, and the ever present cycle of life. The scent, therefore, is an incredibly variable and dynamic thing, its chemical composition constantly shifting and adapting in response to the physiological and reproductive state of the wolf, a true chemical reflection of its inner world. This intricate system forms a profound language of shared experience, building a collective narrative for the pack. When a wolf encounters and smells the mark of a packmate, it is not simply receiving inert data or factual information. It is more deeply being viscerally reminded of its family, its shared history, and its fundamental purpose within the tightly knit pack structure. It constitutes a silent yet emotionally resonant form of communication that continually reaffirms the powerful bond between individuals, a quiet declaration that eloquently states, "We are together, bound by instinct and shared life." It is perhaps the deepest form of understanding imaginable, a nonverbal echo of a shared life, of mutual dependence and affection, subtly woven into the very fabric of the forest. A restless human mind, yearning for connection and understanding, can indeed find profound peace and solace in this simple, quiet truth that you can be known, deeply understood, and truly connected to those you love without a single spoken word needing to be uttered, without grand pronouncements. The scent mark, in its understated elegance, stands as a beautiful, peaceful testament to this quiet, enduring connection that underpinning the natural world. Chapter 9: The World as a Woven Scent Map. Let us now return to the serene, moonlit forest, precisely as we first encountered it in the opening moments of our journey. The air, having settled into its nocturnal rhythm, is still and refreshingly cool against the skin, carrying the subtle fragrances of the night. The moonlight, a soft and ethereal presence, continues to filter through the ancient canopy, casting gentle, shimmering patterns on the forest floor. The world in this profound stillness feels deeply calm, settled, and wonderfully interconnected. But now, armed with a newfound understanding, your perception of what this deep quiet contains has profoundly shifted. The forest is no longer merely an aggregation of trees and soil, but rather a vast, intricate, and meticulously woven tapestry of scent, an invisible dynamic map of constant subtle communication unfolding beneath the surface of apparent stillness. The wolf's slow, deliberate, and rhythmic footfalls, once perceived as mere sounds, are now understood as silent, significant beats within this grand composition. The gentle scrapes of its paws on the earth are like delicate reinforcing stitches on the vast living canvas of the earth itself. And the complex scent marks left with such quiet intention are the indelible threads of invisible ink, a rich, quiet language patiently written upon the enduring landscape, a continuous narrative of life and presence. The wolf's purposeful walk, therefore, is not simply a means of locomotion. It is a quiet, deeply ingrained ceremony, a slow, patient, and deeply rooted progression through the enveloping dark. Each mark deposited along its path constitutes a letter, a word, or an entire sentence within a language of invisible messengers, a transient cloud of tiny, potent whispers that collectively hold a vast world of intricate meaning, understood only by those attuned to its subtleties. This unseen language is at its core a living map of belonging for the pack, an intricate silent road of constant reassurance and profound homecoming, guiding its members and reinforcing their collective identity. Simultaneously, it serves as a peaceful treaty, an unspoken, non aggressive message exchanged with other wolves, allowing all to live in quiet harmony within their respective overlapping spheres of influence. And in its entirety, the forest itself stands as a living, breathing testament to this quiet, profound communication. The towering trees, ancient and stoic, are the patient, silent witnesses to these unseen exchanges. The receptive earth, with its layers of soil and organic matter, serves as the enduring, absorbent paper upon which these chemical stories are meticulously inscribed. The wolf and the forest are, in this symbiotic relationship, profoundly one, a single, interconnected, living, breathing entity, constantly linked and subtly communicating through the most subtle, yet undeniably profound, of all languages. This entire deeply integrated process of scent marking, from the wolf's deliberate steps to the gradual fading of the chemical messages, serves as a perfect, gentle metaphor for the slow, comforting descent into sleep. The wolf's silent, repetitive, and gentle act of scent marking is a quiet, certain process, unfolding with an innate, predictable certainty, repeated over and over until a deep, pervasive feeling of peace and security takes hold, both in the wolf and, metaphorically, in the observer. The restless mind, like the solitary wolf, is gradually leaving its own path, its daily worries and anxieties softening and dissipating with each deliberate step into rest. The forest, in this analogy, like the sleepy, calming mind, transforms into a quiet, harmonious place where everything is connected, where every element finds its proper place in a serene order. There is no urgency to be felt, no frantic destination to reach, no goal to achieve. There is only the slow, rhythmic, and reassuring presence of simply being, a gentle acceptance of the moment. The world, when viewed through this lens of quiet communication, reveals itself as a vast interconnected network of subtle understanding. It is a place where true strength is not expressed through brute force or overt aggression, but rather through profound wisdom, through quiet certainty, and through an innate understanding of natural balances. It is a world where the most powerful and enduring solutions are often those that ingeniously prevent problems from ever arising, fostering coexistence and peace. The forest, in its deep ancient wisdom, knows you are here, a fleeting presence within its vastness. It breathes with you in a slow, harmonious rhythm. The wolf's journey in this contemplative moment becomes a sleepy thought, a meandering river of profound peace, flowing gently through the mind. Let this peaceful current wash over you, cleansing and calming. Let the gentle, deliberate act of scent marking, a quiet, reassuring signature on the receptive earth, become a gentle, comforting signature left permanently in your mind. All is well, perfectly balanced, all is in its proper, harmonious place. The forest is sleeping soundly, its secrets whispered on the wind, and so too can you find your own deep, restorative sleep. Conclusion. The enduring whispers of the wild. As the last ethereal echoes of the wolf's silent, purposeful journey gently settle back into the profound, unbreaking quiet of the moonlit forest, a sense of deep understanding washes over us, illuminating a world teeming with an unseen, yet incredibly potent, network of communication. The subtle ancient art of scent marking, far from being dismissed as a mere instinctual biological function or a crude territorial display, emerges instead as a sophisticated, intricate, and deeply quiet language, a delicate tapestry meticulously woven from countless chemical whispers. These whispers, almost imperceptible to the uninitiated, speak volumes of individual identity, of deep rooted belonging within a cohesive unit, and of an overarching, almost spiritual desire for peace within the intricate web of existence. It stands as a powerful testament to an ancient inherent wisdom, where the very presence of a creature is a profound declaration of self, and where the profound stillness of the night holds a depth of meaning that belies its apparent emptiness. Through the wolf's deliberate, measured steps, each one a mindful placement, and the unseen, information rich messages it leaves behind, we are privileged to witness a delicate, often imperiled balance of nature, where overt conflict is artfully and elegantly circumvented, and where a profound sense of harmony is not merely hoped for, but actively fostered through respectful, non aggressive, and universally understood chemical signals. This intricate dance between creature and its encompassing environment, this unspoken primal pact with the land and all its diverse inhabitants, serves as a poignant, almost wistful reminder that the most powerful and enduring truths are often quietly whispered rather than aggressively shouted from the rooftops. It is a profound reflection of how life, in its deepest, most fundamental essence, perpetually seeks not clamor and disruption, but rather a restorative calm, not ceaseless confrontation and struggle, but a harmonious reciprocal connection. In the fading silvered moonlight, as the last vestiges of the night's magic begin their slow retreat, the wolf's quiet, unassuming language extends an irresistible invitation to us, an invitation to listen more intently, with open minds and softened hearts, to the subtle, often overlooked rhythms of our own complex world. It beckons us to find a deeper, more enduring peace in its quiet, unwavering certainty, to shed the urgency of human noise, and to truly understand that sometimes, indeed, the most profound, most resonant stories are told without the need for a single audible sound, but through the rich, silent poetry of existence itself. The wolf's ability to delineate its domain, to welcome its pack, and to deter rivals without resorting to overt aggression offers a powerful paradigm. It speaks of a sophisticated system of diplomacy, a nonverbal agreement that prioritizes energy conservation and the avoidance of unnecessary harm. Imagine a world, or even our own human interactions, guided by such an elegant simplicity, where intent is clear, boundaries are respected, and presence is enough to convey a wealth of information. This ecological wisdom, honed over millennia, underscores the interconnectedness of all living things, demonstrating how the safety of prey can paradoxically be maintained through the discreet marking of a predator, creating a delicate equilibrium where each species plays its role in maintaining a fragile peace. The silent communication of the wolf, therefore, is not just a fascinating biological phenomenon, it is a philosophical guide, a practical lesson in sustainable coexistence that transcends the boundaries of species. We are reminded that the forest, far from being a chaotic tangle of life, is a meticulously organized symphony, its orchestration guided by these subtle, fleeting scents. Every rustle of leaves, every shift in the breeze becomes part of a larger narrative, carrying the wolf's liquid biography across valleys and over hills, painting an invisible map for its family and a clear warning for strangers. This constant, gentle flow of information ensures not only the survival of the pack, but also the broader health of the ecosystem, preventing the exhaustion of resources and the needless escalation of conflict. It encourages us to cultivate a similar awareness in our own lives, to seek out and understand the subtle cues and unspoken truths that often lie beneath the surface of our interactions, fostering deeper empathy and more harmonious relationships. To truly grasp the quiet language of the wolf is to unlock a more profound appreciation for the intricate design of nature, revealing its inherent elegance and its enduring capacity for peaceful resolution. In the enduring whispers of the wild, we find not just a story of wolves, but a timeless lesson for all life